big ride.
All aboard for a wild trip to the future.
Upside down and around and around.
Hold on to your seats for the next 30 minutes.
It's to the edge.
As E takes you to New York City in the 23rd century in a behind-the-scenes look at The Fifth Element.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready for this futuristic sci-fi adventure starring Bruce Willis as a New York cabbie who becomes an unlikely hero.
I play a character called Corbin Dallas, ex-Federation fighter pilot. Now drives a cab in the 23rd century, New York City.
Look out! Oh, no,
Blast.
It's like a big new ride at an amusement park. It's like a big new roller coaster that you go on, and it's up and down, and there's some very real moments, some very human moments in it, and some very funny moments, and scary and really unique, I think.
Gary Oldman adds some of the uniqueness as the force behind all that is evil.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Your time for revenge is at hand.
Zorg, and I own Zorg Enterprises.
Well, he's the evil one, of course. Another villain to add to the gallery of villains, but it's a comic villain. He basically wants to take over the universe.
The creative mind behind the universe of The Fifth Element is French director Luc Besson. Besson is best known for his innovative style in films such as La Femme Nikita and The Professional. But his latest film is based on an idea he had as a teenager.
Yeah, I started in the boarding school. I was outside of Paris, and I was very lonely. So I started to write a little and to create this world, this futuristic world.
Russian-born beauty Mila Jovovich is fantasy creature Lilu.
She's like a human being to the 20th power. She's so far beyond humans, but she is the ultimate human.
Lilu falls into Corbin's cab and fills a void in his life.
And he's kind of bummed out because he doesn't have a girlfriend.
You're right. I shouldn't have done that. It was wrong to kiss you, but he said wake you up gently. You're right. Yeah. Thought you might remember me from the cab. Remember? Bada boom. Big bada boom.
Boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Adding humor to this science fiction adventure is actor Chris Tucker as the out-of-this-world Ruby Rhod.
My character's like this entertainer in the 23rd century, and he's just like real spoiled and, uppity and stuck up and stuff. And I got hooked up with this character, Corbin Dallas, played by Bruce Willis. How was it?
Wow, was just absolutely so great. I was touched to the core,
And I knew I had like the comedy of the movie, so people, that's just like the comedy relief. So I just wanted people to laugh, after they see all the serious stuff, to laugh when they see me. So it was cool.
I was very interested also to show that the future is not specifically dark and dangerous, and this future is very funny.
Cover, sweetheart. What was that? It was bad. It had nothing, no fire, no energy, no nothing. I have a shoulder right here, And it must pop, pop, pop. So tomorrow from 5 to 7, will you please act like you have more than a 2-word vocabulary?
During filming of The Fifth Element, director Luc Besson insisted on secrecy.
If I have to speak about the story, I think I will say nothing.
Stand by, everybody.
I think it's just about the eternal fight against evil.
It's very spiritual, the movie. And it's good old-fashioned, good conquering evil.
There's a lot of funny beats in it. Woven into this tapestry of love and war and future and flying spaceships.
Hold on!
The Way Out is different. It's to the edge.
I mean, it's insane. It's the 23rd century.
Coming up on Behind the Scenes, the cast members share war stories.
Yeah, burned, hit, shot, burned some more.
Jean-Paul Gaultier designed some futuristic fashions.
It was way, way out there.
Plus, Bruce Willis fans, hold on to your seats. Is the die-hard star thinking of retiring from the hero business?
There are a lot of younger guys out there, you know.
Stand by to shoot. We gunfire. Background action.
Welcome back to E's 30-minute look behind the scenes of The Fifth Element.
Perfect weapon.
More than 20 years ago, director Luc Besson wrote a heroic tale of the future. Today, Besson brings his story to the big screen in an audacious sci-fi adventure, The Fifth Element.
The story is just the fight between the good and the bad.
Besson knew his first choice for the heroic role of Corbin Dallas would be an actor who has a knack for saving the day.
The wonderful thing about Bruce is I came in New York, I gave him the script, I went shopping for 2 hours, I come back 2 hours later, he said, it's great, I do it. And I was, I have tears in my eyes because it's like a movie already.
Well, I like his work. I like his films, and I wanted to work with him. And he had told me this idea out at my house about 5 years ago, and couldn't make heads or tails of it then. And then he, 5 years later, brings me the script and he says, "Here, this is the movie I told you about." And I read it and I said, "Okay, I'd like to do it. And would you let me be in your movie?" And here we are.
What's up, baby? What are you doing?
Thank you, Bruce, if you listen. Thank you.
The cast felt thankful having Bruce Willis come to their rescue.
It was wonderful. I mean, I was a bit nervous at first because, Bruce Willis, and I didn't know if he was going to be a snob or nice or whatever, but he was so cool, just really down to earth, and it was so funny. We were doing this one scene where we're in the cab, and Lilu, my character, is just all passed out and shaking, and Bruce is like whispering to me when it's my close-up. He's like, "Get down a little lower, get the light, and I'd be like, the priest, and he'd like just whisper in the middle of a scene, and I learned so much from him.
Well, that's so nice for us to say that. I mean, other actors have helped me in that way, and it's just, courtesy if you see an actor not in their light.
And he kind of taught me that not only are you supposed to be in your character, but you're supposed to know where the light is and where your angle is, and just there's so many other things to acting than just being in your character.
Oh, it was cool. It was real cool working with him. Like the first day that we did a scene together, it was just like real cool because I always see him on movies and stuff. But it was real cool, and he was like spontaneous. It's good to play off of him, stuff like that. So it was real fun.
Action!
Willis knows the art of action-adventure films, but he has thoughts of handing in his white hat.
You just can't save the world every day. And plus, there are a lot of younger guys out there. You got guys like Will Smith out there coming up, but he's great at saving the world. I think he did a pretty good job at saving the world. It's getting harder and harder to save the world, honestly.
A word on firepower. Titanium recharger, 3,000 round clip with bursts of 3 to 300 with the replay button, another Zorg invention.
Actor Gary Oldman first teamed up with director Luc Besson in 1994's action thriller The Professional. So Besson knew where to look when casting the villainous Zorg.
Gary's like family. He's one of my best friends since, The Professional. In this movie, Gary plays a weird character because he's very strong and very dark. But in the same time, he has a lot of panache.
Okay, lady, stay calm. This is the police. There's nowhere else to go.
Luc Besson auditioned thousands of women before he cast Mila Jovovich as the futuristic beauty Lilu.
One of the best souvenirs I have is to meet with Mila.
Oh, God. It was very interesting, actually, the way I got this part. It was actually quite coincidental, which is, I guess, usually how things like that happen. I met Luke in New York for this part, and I kind of got all dressed up and dolled up, walked uptown, beautiful summer day, and he didn't think I was right at all for the part.
I've seen 5,000 girls all around the world. And I was, interested by her at the beginning, not so much. It was she was far physically from the character.
And he asked his assistant to have me come up to his room and get put on video again. And then for a second, he saw his character in me.
She was excellent on the test, give everything. So, and then after a while, I say, okay, I ask her if she will give everything to the movie because I need this commitment from her. She said yes. She's, stop everything, go to London for 8 months and works like hell.
Besson didn't kid around about the demands each cast member would encounter.
I always wanted to work with him. I like his movies a lot, and I just keep trying to challenge myself and do things that I'm not quite sure I'm capable of doing.
I had 3 hours of gym every day and weightlifting and karate and gymnastics and a lot of work. I had to really kind of get more toned for the part and a little more buffed. Not too much, just a little bit.
Mila, I think, worked harder than anyone else in this film. She really hurt herself a lot and beat herself up and really sacrificed her own body for the film and really did a great job, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've got scars from the film. Yeah, burned, hit, shot, burned some more. It was fun. I'm pretty rough and tumble. I was a tomboy when I was little, but yeah, it was a lot of physical stuff. I mean, I had to crash through roofs and run and get shot at, and there was a lot of really great things. I mean, great experience, but some of the stunts I did myself, and so, yeah, I got hurt a bit, but it was fun.
Looks like Gary Oldman would do anything for his friend Luc Besson, including enduring the tedious transformation of his character.
So I took something like 8 weeks off from my film, shaved my head again, wore a funny plastic helmet with a bit of hair hanging off it and false teeth and a scar and a limp and rubber. And, maneuvered my way around the 23rd century.
Look at my fingers. Look at my fingers. Look, 4 crates, 0 stones, 0 crates!
And the laughs just keep on coming.
We have so much fun on the set. I have 15 minutes of dailies with takes that we were obliged to cut because we were laughing. I can make a short movie about that. It was so funny.
Boy, that Chris Tucker is just... They would bring him to the set a lot of times in a straitjacket. He really, I think, is either was then or was just getting over being actually insane, certifiably insane, and we just had a good time doing it.
The good times aren't over yet. When Behind the Scenes continues, Bruce Willis gives some brotherly advice.
He bent over to me, he said, don't you know this can ruin your career?
Plus, designer Jean-Paul Gaultier brings couture to the 23rd century.
He was like a police control.
Welcome back to Behind the Scenes, E's 30-minute look at The Fifth Element. Years ago, director Luc Besson wrote a screenplay about a futuristic world in the 23rd century. But Besson's biggest challenge focused on bringing his vision to the big screen.
The goal of this movie was to say, okay, now we're in New York in the 23rd century, and it's noon, daylight, and you're gonna see everything.
And you do see everything, from the New York Police Department to aliens with an attitude.
He's taken what we have here and reshaped it for the future.
It's just insane and bright and fast and noisy and upside down and around, and subways up and down and cars flying around.
You have like all flying cars and stuff in the subways going down. Everything's in the air flying. It's just like he have a vision of the future.
Besson's vision of an imaginary world became a reality on the set of Pinewood Studios in London.
It was pretty exciting. I like London, and I like working over there. We almost burnt one of the stages down over there. We almost burnt the 007 stage down.
I was there for 2 months in London, 2 months, and it was like we had like 9 stages like rented out. So it was crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, suddenly you walk into an Egyptian tomb, and it was so brilliant. And
when I seen all those big sets, it was like, man, I knew they were spending a lot of money for the movie because it was like stuff everywhere. It looked like out of space.
The cast not only braved the out-of-this-world sound stages, but responded to the demands of their diligent director.
Luke somehow gets actors to do things that I'm not sure that they would do under normal circumstances, or things that they would necessarily come up with themselves. I mean, a lot of times I was just in that cab with Luke, and he was in the car driving the cab.
So focused and so passionate and so... He's just got such a feeling for his art, and he's so strong in what he wants. I mean, he knows what he wants.
Co-star Chris Tucker concentrated less on performance and more on wardrobe.
And the clothes that Luke wanted me to wear was way, way out. And I was like, hell no, I ain't wearing no dress.
The director called upon fellow Frenchman Jean-Paul Gaultier to design the futuristic fashions for this out-of-space adventure.
Jean-Paul Gaultier is a sweet angel. He's so sweet, and he worked a lot. He designed, I don't know, maybe 200 or 300, costumes for the movie. And he comes in Pinewood every week.
A lot of people think that the future will be like very modern. Maybe not. Maybe it will be completely revival of the 90s. Maybe like it is now a revival of the 70s, So who knows? So everything is possible.
Jean-Paul's possibilities were endless, and it showed in his zany creations.
Some of the clothes that look the more maybe like classical, like for example Bruce Willis. I did like his kind of T-shirt open at the back, but I did it in rubber. Gary Goldman, he has like a redingote, but with pinstripes, but it is also rubber. So when he moves, it's make like a little movement.
Mila Jovovich had the most revealing wardrobe.
It was great, though. I loved that little outfit.
She was not frightened, or she didn't show it.
Jean-Paul saved his show-stopping designs for Chris Tucker's character, Ruby Rhod.
So, to do Ruby, it was like, for me, very funny, because it was really all my fantasy, I could put it in it, So it was like an extravagant personage.
It was wild, because it took so long to put the hair on and the clothes on. It was crazy.
Crazy enough for Bruce Willis to take notice.
I think Chris's costumes really, it took him to another place.
He bent over to me, he said, don't you know this could ruin your career because all the stuff I had on when he was playing.
Although Chris Tucker wears the most outrageous attire, Besson had a personal favorite, not worn by Tucker.
The best one for me that he created is the costume of the hostess, the stewardess.
And the word is out among flight attendants.
I take Air France yesterday, because I was coming from Italy, and the girl said, you know what, when can you do our next uniform? I say, I don't know.
Gaultier knew what to do when dressing hundreds of extras.
The day we have this, big, huge crowd, like 900 people, he was at the entrance of the set, and he was checking the 900 extras one by one before they come in the set. He was like a police control, everybody was online, and sometimes he's just, take the hat, change the hat.
When we come back with more behind the scenes of The Fifth Element, the cast takes a trip to the south of France.
I'm gonna go nuts over there.
Welcome back to Behind the Scenes of The Fifth Element.
Put your arms up and follow our instructions.
The Fifth Element is a futuristic sci-fi thriller that takes the audience on an adventure.
It's a big ride. We've built a big visual ride that you go on for 2 hours that is really unlike anything you've ever seen.
As I say, it's good old-fashioned stuff, but it's told with such a style, and it's very unique.
Besson is known for his usually innovative style. That style may be one of the reasons the Frenchman earned the honor of debuting The Fifth Element at the Cannes Film Festival.
Ooh. Yeah, I feel honored first because it's 50th birthday, so it's the opening day.
Yeah, I was there a couple years ago for a little movie. It turned out to be a big movie at the time, called Pulp Fiction. Yeah, it was fun being over there. It's a pretty remarkable place, Cannes, and you know, Luc is a very renowned French filmmaker, and it is the 50th anniversary of Cannes, and they're probably gonna go nuts over there.
God, it's amazing. I've never been to Cannes, so it's fun. I can't wait.
That's cool, because I keep hearing, I've never been there before, I keep hearing all these good stuff about it, all these good things about it, and I'm ready to go, because they say it's so big, you know, everything. So I said, all right, cool. So that should be fun.